Sean Spicer is with us. He's the former White House press secretary under President Trump. He's also a NewsNation contributor. And Johanna Maska, she's a NewsNation political contributor who previously served as President Obama's White House director of press advance. Sean, take it away.
He could have won tonight. The imminent issue facing us is supporting Israel. If he had focused on that tonight, every Republican would have put out a statement saying, I agree with the president on our need to support our ally Israel tonight. We need to give them the support, the weaponry, etc., the funding they need to defeat Hamas. Full stop. I was there. I'm reading this just from a communication standpoint, and this is, you've made my point, though. You keep talking about how he mixed in Ukraine. Yeah. I agree with you. I actually think that's the point. This is, he mixed messages. I was listening to the speech saying, what do you want me to be for? Because you're telling me on one hand that I've got to be for Israel, then you're telling me that we've got weapons, that we're backfilling Ukraine, we've got to stand up to Putin. And I'm like, for 17 minutes, he was all over the place. Tonight, if he had gotten up saying, I just returned from Israel, they are under attack. They are our closest ally. Yeah. This is why we need to do it. You would have had universal.
Look, you make a totally fair point.
Thank you.
All right. No, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But don't you agree with me? You make the point that if he had just come out talking about Israel, Republicans would not have come out supporting him.
Yes, they would have.
Fox News would not have done an analysis saying, bravo. Because, by the way, Brit Hume tonight on Fox talked about how great he thought the speech was. I didn't think it was that great. But that's
I'm just saying, but here's my point. Ukraine's been going on for months. He could have given the Ukraine speech anytime. Right now, America needs to be united with Israel and what's going on and against the terrorist barbaric actions of Hamas. Full stop. You could have done that Ukrainian speech anytime. It was like, hey, let's add it in.
All right. Look, Johanna, I agree with Sean on that point. But here's the point that I want to make is I don't believe that Republicans would have come out if he'd given the speech that both Sean and I think he probably should have given. I do not think they would have come out and said, oh, good for President Biden. We support him here. It just seems we're in this environment where you just can't do that.
It really is. I wish I was there with you guys in person. We'd have so much fun debating this. But Sean, I think that, the president has never sent a tingle up any moderator or any Democrat or Republican's legs. That's not what he does when he speaks. But he has been very consistent on this. He believes that this is a precipice, that there's a clash between democracies and autocracies, and he very much believes that Putin is behind very much. Iran, yes, an actor, Hamas, Hezbollah, all of this is intertwined. And he is making the case that all of this is intertwined and that the U.S. needs to stand strong. Now, you and I have both traveled with presidents around the world, and I never want to see a world where America is not the superpower. I love America as a superpower because we are more right and we are more just than any of these autocracies are. Now, how we're going to get there, I think, is an absolute debate the Republicans and Democrats need to have, whether Ukraine and Israel are all intertwined and how we take every action, including sanctions, against them. I am for that debate. But the problem is right now, we've got a House that doesn't even have a speaker. So this is a real problem that we're in this back and forth fighting. The majority of us all agree that we should have these fundings. If the extremes of the left were controlling our party, we wouldn't have a funding bill either.
I think my
right now, the extreme of the right is controlling the party. If we came to bipartisan consensus, we would have these funding bills.
Look, I think my point's getting missed here. To your point, Dan, when the president came out and spoke last Monday, and talked about the issue, Republicans did come out and applaud it and said, hey, I actually think he gave a good speech. There was very little criticism on the speech, except for the fact that he didn't talk about Iran.
Well, it was Iran.
Right. But the fact is he did leave that out. That's a big piece of this. But generally, they said it's a good speech. He left this out. Okay, that is a pretty good response in this, considering the climate that we're in. But secondly, again, I'm not arguing. What I'm saying is for months he could have been talking about Ukraine. Tonight, he took the crisis that Israel is in and decided to mix in another issue. From a messaging standpoint, that's all I'm arguing, is to say if your goal, using a prime-time Oval Office speech, is to convince the American people that your policies are worth supporting, then don't sit there with a laundry list of 18 things you need.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.